What's up, guys? Hope y'all are having a great day today, just full of so much positivity and happiness, dude, because the game we're going to be talking about is anything but that, and that, of course, is none other than PlayStation's newest hero shooter, or Overwatch clone, whatever you want to call it, Concord. Now let's address the elephant in the room, and no, not these two characters. But trust me, we'll get to the characters in a little bit. Let me just go ahead and give you guys a quick overview about what a steaming pile of shit that Concord really is. So, I pre-ordered the game on Steam in order to get beta access. Keep in mind, this is the paid beta period, where you actually have to pay to pre-order the game in order to access the beta. So, that makes this even more bad. Keep this in mind, it's not the open beta yet. But as of right now, at the time of recording this video, you cannot even open this game on PC without the game immediately crashing 3 seconds later. And I shit you not, man. If you don't believe me, take a look. I mean, either God's trying to send me a signal, or no one at PlayStation thought to even make sure the beta would launch before they released it onto Steam, which at this point I think either scenario is just as believable, if not a little bit of both, in all honesty. But I tried to do the right thing, because I play first-person shooters on PC, because I definitely prefer playing first-person shooters with keyboard and mouse. It's what I'm used to. I've basically lost a lot of my ability to play first-person shooters on controller, but I actually did okay in this game with a controller, so that's not even the problem. But I tried to do the best thing for it and give myself the most authentic experience. So I didn't just go into this thing trying to hate it, because I wanted to give it a fair shot. I wanted to play it on my preferred platform, even if it meant I had to put up the $40 initially instead of just playing it for free in PlayStation Plus on PS5. So I went an extra step in order to try and give this game a fair shot. So before you go, oh my god, bro, you just went into this game trying to hate it, you're a piece of shit, I actually spent money to try and give this game a fair shot. It's not my fault that no one at PlayStation knew how to launch a Steam beta, making sure that it actually opens when someone hits play. So, you know, that's a little bit outside of my control, but that being said, I didn't actually do that bad with the controller. I actually went positive for the majority of my matches. I would even go like 13-4 some matches. So I was doing pretty good, in all honesty, man. I was carrying my team in a lot of these matches I played, but that's where the biggest problem is even though I was doing very well in the game, I never had fun with it. This game does not feel good to play whatsoever. So let's go ahead and talk about the gameplay. So I was streaming a little bit of it last night, and someone in my chat made the perfect comparison. To me, this doesn't really even feel like an Overwatch clone, in all honesty. It feels like Destiny 2, but you're weighted down and you're just really slow and clunky. And someone drew up the comparison of Destiny 2 and Rainbow Six Siege combined. Like, it's the gameplay style of Destiny 2, but then the clunkiness and slow-moving kind of tactical gameplay of Rainbow Six Siege. And in all honesty, I kind of agree with that, because first thing you'll notice when you play this game is it feels slow. Comparing this game to Overwatch, I think, is a massive disservice to Overwatch, because Overwatch is a much more fast and fluid game than this, and overall, there is very, very slow slow movement in this game, and it feels like your character is basically wearing lead shoes the entire time. Even when you're jumping around, using special abilities to traverse, everything just feels like really clunky, delayed. You don't really feel like you have agency over your character like you would in other games in this genre. Just something feels really off here. It's very, very slow. So the pacing of this game is about on par with like Destiny 2 multiplayer, maybe slowed down even further from that, because Destiny 2, I think, is a faster paced game. I think this is more in line with something like maybe Valorant or Rainbow Six Siege. So I wouldn't even toss out an Overwatch comparison in this regard. I mean, the characters definitely look like they're inspired from Overwatch, but I don't think there's a single original character in Overwatch either, so I'm not even going to get into that whole can of worms. But overall, man, I do not think this is a direct Overwatch clone. I think the characters definitely take inspiration from that, but the overall feel of the gameplay, I feel like, is nothing like Overwatch. And I have hundreds of hours in Overwatch across console and PC, so I kind of have a clue of what I'm talking about here. I mean, for example, all of the tanks in Overwatch, for the most part, have pretty fast movement compared to Concord. In Concord, they are taken down to an absolute crawl. Like, the Reinhardt ripoff character with the energy shield doesn't have a charge attack, so you're just basically waddling across the map the whole time instead of, you know, chaining Reinhardt's dash ability to better traverse the environment in order to get back into the action. And that's another thing you'll notice too. Unless you're playing the DPS characters, you are going to be moving incredibly slow, and you encounter many occurrences where you're just running around the map looking for someone to kill until you eventually walk into a room with two enemies. And basically what I've noticed in this game too is if you are ever in a 1v2 scenario, the likelihood of you surviving is like maybe 1%, bro. You will get completely outgunned, because this is one of those games where basically one magazine with perfect precision 9 times out of 10 is what it takes to kill an enemy. So if you miss any shots, you have to reload. And I'm not really a fan of that gameplay style, because even the tanks don't really have a ton of health in this game, but your weapons feel like literal fucking pea shooters, even for the DPS characters, which I don't really think feels good. Like, for example, when you're playing that Yondu ripoff, the guy that looks like he's from Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't know his actual in-game name because I don't really give a fuck enough to know, but he has a revolver, and this revolver shoots incredibly slow. It only has 6 shots, but you have to land 5 or 6 of those shots, with some of them being headshots, in order to hope to kill somebody without reloading. Now, he does have a dodge to reload ability, but still, man, like 6 shots to kill one low health enemy type with a DPS class, like, it just doesn't feel good. I think either time to kill needs to go down, or they need to buff certain characters' weapons. Like the Soldier 76 character, I think his name is Tio, right? I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's the character I played the most, which is not a great sign that you're playing a hero shooter and the character you enjoy the most is the generic Call of Duty character. But overall, I enjoyed playing him the most, and basically he has a 25 round assault rifle, and if you miss 3 or 4 of those shots, man, and you don't hit several headshots and emptying your mag, you're not going to kill somebody. And you have very low health with that character class, so you will die very quickly. I don't really think the balancing's there yet. I feel like there's just something really off. You will get completely overpowered. There is not many scenarios where you can survive a 1v2 or, God forbid, a 1v3 scenario just because of the over-reliance of reloading and just enemies taking so long to kill. It just doesn't feel satisfying at all. But aside from that, I mean, the game plays okay. Like, the controls don't feel bad. It's just really slow. The performance is good for the most part. I actually really like the map design. The maps are actually really good. That is a positive I can point to. Whoever they have working on the maps, I know this is like supposedly like ex-Bungie devs, but they did a really good job on the multiplayer map layout. So that is definitely a strength that this game has going for it. Is it's not like Overwatch where you absolutely hate, you know, 2/3 of the maps. The maps that I played in the beta are all very good for the most part, and I like the fact that it has team deathmatch and like a kill confirmed mode right out the gate. I do kind of wish that you were allowed to pick multiple of the same characters in that mode, considering it's team deathmatch and not an objective based mode, because I have a feeling that there's going to be like 4 or 5 characters that everybody wants to play, so your likelihood of actually being able to play who the hell you want is dramatically reduced. I got into the habit of literally basically spamming X as soon as the loading screen ended, because Tio, which is the character that I played the most, is the first and like default character that's selected when you get into a match. So literally I would just spam X waiting for the match to get into the character selection screen so that I could play who I wanted to. And I don't really like that personally. I know Overwatch has modes where you can have multiple of the same characters, and I think that is a mode that would actually benefit from that personally, because, you know, it's team deathmatch. If people are playing the same character, who fucking cares? Because your only objective is to kill people. So I don't really see that as an issue personally, but I do like the fact that those modes are in the game, because god, man, if I had to play like an objective push mode or something like that in this, I think I would be absolutely hating my life. But I don't know, man. This game just, it's very questionable, and I don't really even know why it exists. It just, there's nothing special about it. It feels like a slop hero shooter with painfully slow and clunky combat. Now again, maybe if I play this on PC, it'll feel a little better, but from what I played personally, and I played about 3 to 4 hours, I gave this a shot, I just was not having a good time with it whatsoever. So let's go ahead and move over to the characters, because this is an absolute fucking shit show, man. This has to be one of the worst roster of characters I think I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't think there is a singular white guy in this game. Like, this basically took Overwatch's diversity quota and turned it up to 20 with extra points in the fucking degeneracy, man. I don't think there is a singular attractive character that's female in this game, aside from the sniper chick. I think she's pretty normal looking for the most part, but every other woman in this game is either absolutely disgusting, some weird fucking furry, or alien. It's just, even the Asian chick from the trailer, they made her look hideous in the actual game. So I don't know, bro. This is like one of the ugliest character rosters I think I have ever seen in one of these hero shooters, and it's not really a great idea in my personal opinion, because in a game that sells skins based off of sex appeal, which is basically the hero shooter monetization loop, I can't really see many fellow Coomers going out there and spending a bag on their favorite Concord character skin, especially when you compare it to a game like something, I don't know, like The First Descendant. But of course, a blaring detail you will notice on the character select screen is that every single character in the game, without fail, has their pronouns prominently on display.
Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring!
And yeah, I'm not gonna have a full meltdown like the fucking Starfield guy, but it is so obvious the motivation behind this shit, especially when you pair it with the actual character design itself. This game is fucking ugly. It is the perfect example of diversity done to an extreme, and just overall is ugly. Like, this game just epitomizes the idea of soulless corporate diversity checklist culture to the fucking T. The only thing it's missing is a trans person, which maybe that exists. There is a few they them characters, and then also a disabled person, but maybe that'll be DLC in the future. But this game just feels absolutely soulless, and the character design, I think you can best sum it up as just ugly, dude. There's no character in this game that I really even like the design of. Like, even the character I played, Tio, which is like the only normal looking male character in the game, is like a literal fucking Hispanic manlet, bro. Like, they couldn't even make him tall. They made him a literal manlet. So it's just like, this game is just ugly for the sake of being ugly in the name of being diverse and inclusive. I don't know, bro. This is one of the worst character rosters I have ever seen in this type of game in the genre, and I do not see how it's going to work out well for them when they're trying to shovel out $20 character skins in order to customize your character in multiplayer, because unless you have like some sort of visual attraction, not even sexual, you have to think the character looks cool at the very least in order to want to shell out money. And with all these characters being as ugly as they are and not even looking cool in the first place, like, why would I want to put a $20 character skin on my morbidly obese tank character? Like, it's not like Reinhardt where he has this really cool armor and different visual styles and everything because his base character model looks fucking badass already. No, you're talking about literal fucking fucking people of Walmart that you would see in a fucking mobility scooter. Why would you want to put a fucking $20 skin around a literal amorphous blob that you can barely even tell if it's male or female? So this game is just absolutely hideous. But if you take a game like the first Descendant now and you look at that Ultimate Bunny skin, you can understand exactly why people are shelling out money for that in the game, because it looks absolutely amazing. And, you know, obviously the assets are not lacking in that department. But overall, dude, I've never seen such an ugly roster of characters in my entire life. Like, even Battleborn, with its really weird aesthetic, had a much more visually interesting cast of characters. Like, this game kind of treads the line of being weird and not normal, but it doesn't really go like that full dive. It just kind of teeters on the edge of, oh, well, we want to make it kind of weird, but we also want to hit all the diversity checklist shit, so we can't make it too weird. So they're like kind of in limbo, where they didn't lean enough into fantasy or they didn't lean enough into reality, and it's just kind of stuck in this, you know, purgatory of diversity, essentially. But overall, none of these characters impressed me whatsoever, and I didn't really have a desire to try out too many of them because none of them interested me from a visual perspective, which is what drew me to several different Overwatch characters, especially my main girl Diva. But overall, dude, yeah, characters, absolute fucking L in this game, and there's not really too much else to discuss. I did not pay attention to any of the story shit that they included in this game. I just skipped all the cutscenes in the beta, so I can't really talk about that. I don't think anybody fucking cares about the Guardians of the Goyslop ripoff story that this game is going to be pushing. But overall, dude, this beta was an absolute disaster, just for the fact that they're charging people money to access the beta on Steam, and you can't even start the motherfucking game, bro. That is an absolute fucking joke. Nobody decided to check that before they pushed it out and decided to actually make people pay for it in order to access it. That's a little unbelievable in my opinion. And, you know, it's Saturday now and I still can't open it. So I don't know, maybe it's working by the time this video goes up, but the game is in an absolutely terrible state just for that alone. And when you can play the game like I did on PlayStation 5, it's just not fun. It's slow, it's clunky, it feels monotonous. You're running around the map looking for players for half the time. The respawn timer in Team Deathmatch needs to fucking go. I hate when games have that in that particular mode, and I just didn't have fun with it, man. It didn't matter how well I was doing. It didn't matter how many kills I got within a rapid succession. It just never felt fun. It felt like a chore to play, and I genuinely did not enjoy my time with it. I don't understand what PlayStation saw with this shit that made them go, not only are we going to lock this game down as an exclusive, but we're going to buy the motherfucking studio that's making this shit at the same time. You know, maybe it was a good thing that Jim Ryan got fired, because if this was his vision for the future of PlayStation's live service titles, then that would have been a dark reality to be living in. So thankfully he's out the door. It seems like PlayStation is going back to their roots and refocusing on single player experiences, thank God, and hopefully Concord will only be a memory that, you know, comes back to haunt you every once in a while versus the reality we have to live in every day moving forward. But let me know your thoughts on this Concord beta in the comment section below. Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun with it? Did you hate it? You know, I'm always interested to hear your thoughts. I would definitely not recommend anybody go out and buy this shit to try out the beta. Wait for the free beta next weekend and, you know, give it a shot if you're interested, but I really can't see how you would be, considering this is a game that literally no one was asking for, but somehow got made over everything else in PlayStation's catalog. But anyway, guys, as always, I do want to thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to check out this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it, and I really do appreciate all the support on the channel recently. You guys are the fucking best. And with that shit said, I will catch you guys next time.
My heart